Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Apron Strings. I'm going to make a cake today, and it's not a brand new cake, but it's one of my favorite cakes. I love a German chocolate cake, and I love this fresh apple cake. So I'm going to, and Mama's pound cake, of course, but if I'm going to make something with some goodie added to it, those are my favorites. So I'm going to make it in 2 loaf pans because I've told y'all, I don't eat everything before it goes to waste. So I don't know if it's better to go to waste or waste. But anyway, I'm going to do 2 loaf pans instead of a bundt pan today, so I can freeze one of them. So I like this Baker's Joy. This is not Baker's Joy, this is Pam baking spray. But it has your oil and your flour in it, and you just coat your pan really good with it. Same as greasing and flouring it, it's a whole lot easier. So I'm going to get them done, waiting and ready. I got my oven preheating to 350. And y'all know what? There's a hurricane brewing, and we don't know if we're going to get any of it or none of it or some of it. And it's that time of the year, but it's in a hurry this year. We've never had one this strong in the Gulf. Y'all have heard the news, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. So I'm just praying to the good Lord that it don't come here. And then I'm adding another verse and saying, God, if it does come, just keep my big tree in the front yard standing. Don't let it blow my tree over. When we built this house, we placed it to where the tree would be right in front of our kind of front door, kind of over, and I don't want that tree to blow over. It's probably over 100 years old. So yeah, I pray for my trees too. I've got everything ready over at the mixer. I've grated, it called for 3 cups of grated apples. I've got a little over 3 cups. And I've already got my butter in my mixer. So I'm going to bring y'all over there, and we're going to finish adding everything to the cake batter, get it made, and get it baking. And then I'll probably talk a lot, like I usually do, tell y'all what's been going on around here. Okay, in my bowl I've got 2 sticks of butter and 2 cups of flour. And I'm going to cream that. Okay, now I'm going to add 3 eggs. And I gather my eggs every day, but I do like to break them in a bowl just in case. And I'm going to let the mixer run until this is mixed really, really well, and then I'll be back. Okay, we called for 3 cups of flour. Let me make sure. Yes, 3 cups of flour. So I'm going to add it in about 2 batches. Don't get in a hurry or you get a bath of flour everywhere. Okay, that's my 3 cups of flour. I'll mix that, and then I'll be right back and show y'all what goes in next. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of soda, a teaspoon each of cinnamon, cloves, and fresh grated nutmeg. I'm scraping it down just to be sure all the dry stuff is mixed in really good. Okay, it calls for, I think it's 8 ounces of maraschino cherries, but I have a bigger jar than 8 ounces, so I'm just going to have to guesstimate here how many I'm putting in. So I'm going to add some juice and a bunch of cherries. It really doesn't matter if you get extra cherries, it's like a fruit cake. Okay, I'm going to try that, mix that in, and give it some liquid. And the beater tears the cherries up, so you don't have to worry about cutting them. we're going to add in 2 cups of chopped nuts, and this is a mixture of walnuts and pecans, and a cup of white raisins, and use the white ones, not the dark ones. Let that mix. I need a teaspoon of vanilla. And then I needed 3 cups of grated carrots, and I've got a little more than 3, but I'm going to use all of them. And you have learned that I don't have to grate them. I can just put them in that food processor and chop them. Little bitty pieces, works just the same. This makes such a big old pretty delicious cake. The same friend who gave me the salsa recipe that I made in the last video gave me this recipe one year at Christmas time, and I tell you what, I have made it and made it and made it, and everybody loves it. Okay, let me make sure I've got everything in here. I always double check my recipe, and I do. So make sure that's mixed good, and then I'll meet y'all at the butcher block. Try to divide it evenly into my loaf pans. That's a lot of dough. Maybe it'll make a big cake. I didn't check the moon. If it's on the increase of the moon or a full moon, I'll get a bigger cake. Did y'all always stand around telling Mama to leave a little bit in the pan so you could lick the bowl? That's living proof that eggs won't kill you if they're not cooked, because I licked the bowl all my life, and so did my kids. And I'd always purposely leave some. One would usually get the bowl, and I'd leave some on the spatula or the beaters for the other one, and that would keep down an argument. You got more than I did. Okay, y'all, I'm going to lick this beater with my fingers. I'm going to get this in the oven, and I'll bring y'all back when it's done. Well, I'm going to show y'all something new that I got on the house. I've told y'all that when we built our home, we were young. Troy started cutting pine trees. People would give him pine trees because in a storm they snap off. You never know what's going to happen. So he would go and cut pine trees, and he cut every piece of lumber that's in this house and went to the mill and he cut every tree, went to the mill and cut the lumber. And we built it, and when we moved in, he was 35, I was 34, and it was paid for. So it took us 4 years to build the house, and we just did it as we could, buy material and work, and he bordered for some of it, like the sheetrock, taping and floating. He bordered for that. We bordered for the brick work. We bought the brick. One year we did the arch in the kitchen, and one year we did the fireplace with income tax return. And so anyhow, we moved in 1984, and there was a place over at Conroe that's about 20 miles from us. They called it the Fire Sale, or the Big Orange Barn. And they would have any food, they would have building supplies, they would have all kinds of stuff, and it was cheaper. So we bought our 2 outside doors there for $50 a piece, solid wood, big old pretty doors. And that's what's been On this back door, it's still here. Of course, now it goes out into the mud room. And the front door, well, it's wood. And so it started to peel. I guess it maybe had a veneer on the outside because they're very heavy. Anyway, it started peeling and it looked awful and I hated it. And so I talked to Gary, who's been doing some work around here for me. I said, can we just take that whole unit out? Because they had made homemade, they call it lights on the sides of the door. Looked pretty, but with that peeling, it didn't look good anymore. Long story short, I went to and picked out a door unit, and they installed it and stained it, so I'm going to take the camera and show y'all my new front door. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you can see it from over here. I'm just doing when I walk into the den. There's the door from the inside, and I'm going to show y'all something pretty neat about it. Let me get over there to it. It has a little thing here that I can open. If somebody's outside, I can talk to them without opening my door, and I like that. Okay, hang on. Here's my front porch. And here's my door. Oh, I like it. I like the wrought iron on it. The glass in the little sides is called rain glass, and it's on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a 6 on privacy. So you can see somebody moving in there, but you don't know, you can't really tell anything about it. So anyway, that's the new addition that I'm in love with. Okay, y'all, I got the cakes out of the oven. I cooked them for 50 minutes at 350 rather than an hour for the bundt pan. And I'm going to let them cool about 5 minutes, and then I'll take them out of the pan. I got them out of the pan. They came out perfectly. One of them's a little bit too done around the edges. Maybe both of them has one part. That'd just be crunchy and good. I like crunchy. It's good. So I'm going to let them cool, and then one of them I will put in. I have somewhere, I have a little loaf cake cover. I got to go find it because I don't use it very often. The other one I'm going to wrap up really well and press and seal, and I'm going to put it in the freezer for later. In fact, I may cut it in half and freeze it in 2 halves. But anyway, that is what I've been busy doing today. I got those apples. I told y'all Kroger has that little markdown area, and whatever's in the bag is 99 cents. So the other day they had apples that they didn't look a thing wrong with them. I thought I'll make one of those apple cakes. So I picked me up a couple of bags of those apples, and Richard's eating some of them, and I'm cooking with the rest of them. So if y'all have a Kroger or a grocery store that'll do markdown produce, you need to check because you can save a lot of money. A lot of my red bell pepper that's in the freezer, I get a bag of them for 99 cents, where one of them's $1.50 or more. So save money where you can, a little bit here and a little bit there. Now, I mentioned the hurricane. Of course, it's the season here. Y'all need to stop and think about natural disasters. You need to have a little extra stuff put up that your family can eat if there's no power. If you have a generator, the least that you can cook and all, but if you're electric, the least that you're going to use power from your generator. So go ahead and get you some stuff ahead. And another thing, if you have room in your freezer, freeze some bottles of ice, bottles of water into ice. That way if the power goes out, you have solid chunks of ice to keep stuff cooler, and it won't defrost as quickly. So be wise, put you some food up. I saw a reel that somebody had posted on Facebook, and this man had ordered the exact same groceries from Walmart that he ordered in 22, I think. Might have been 21. The exact grocery list, quadrupled. I've been telling y'all, buy you some stuff at today's price if you can afford it. Eventually you'll have to pay the high prices, but for a while you won't. So get you some stuff put up and save you a little bit of money. I'm going to try to be back in a day or two. We've had 2 deaths in our church, funerals that we're, have to take care of and attend, and that's pretty hard for me, but it's people I love, so I'll be there. And I've had people here working again, trying to get the front door changed out. So my days have kind of been occupied, but cooking's still on my mind, and apron strings is on my mind every day. So I'll try to be back and get y'all some stuff done. Now, I have some cornbread I made for a meal because I wanted some cornbread and peas. So I'm going to take that cornbread and make a little pot of chicken and dressing, little pan, and I'm going to film that after a while, and I'll have that for y'all to see. But right now, I'm going to let this cool, and I'm going to get on to something else. Y'all have a great week. I will see you again in a few days. The good Lord bless you.